All right, traders, welcome to another trading day with the team. This is the daily watch list, and we're going to start by looking at the Japanese yen futures because we do have a US dollar Japanese yen trade open that is not a break even, but I think that it's interesting to understand why we are keeping it going. Now, the trade looks like this right here with our stops at break even, right? So let's go back to the Japanese yen futures chart, 6J, 6J right here. Right. Japanese yen future, I'm sorry about this. Futures, 6J, there you go. So the Japanese yen futures on the daily chart it's looking extremely bearish too, right? From the highs in January, we are down right now. I'll tell you why. How much we are down from high to low, about 7.57%, right? The other part that I do like on the Japanese yen futures short side is that we picked up buyers from the lows right here, from the lows on March 2020, and we have rejected these previous highs. So we are still looking for sales below this point, right? Even though this looks a little bit flaggy, right? It looks a little bit flaggy, but the structure is still a bearish structure. We're making lower highs and lower lows on the daily. Now on the hourly, let's jump back. Let's jump to the 4-hour chart instead. On the 4-hour chart, same story. We are still making lower lows, lower highs, looking very bearish. And today we broke with yesterday's lows, right? Or with last week's lows. This is bearish, even though we are picking up some buyers here at the lows of today. We are still trading below the daily lows. We are trading below the weekly pivot. This might be just a breakout retest for further continuation for a test of the previous week's lows, right? That's some cool stuff going on. And again, the daily for the past 7 days, every single day has broken with the previous day's lows, right? So we continue to pick sellers at those breakouts, and the pullbacks are quite deep after that breakout, right? Well, we keep on making lower highs and lower lows on Japanese yen futures, which is extremely bullish for the US dollar Japanese yen. Now we are still riding them, and as you can see, we are very close to targets. And well, the reason that we didn't close the trade right here at the break of yesterday's highs is because it was during my downtime, because we might have closed it. But in any case, our trade is at break even, very close to our targets. Let's continue. Our focus today is the pound. We do have a GJ, a GU, right? But this is completely and utterly great looking price action on the GBP USD. I know we're trading inside of a range, right, on the hourly and the 4-hour chart, but the hourly to me is looking extremely bullish. Why? Because after this very big bearish move from high to low, we're talking about at 150 pip. Bearish move on the pound US dollar. I am looking at inverted head and shoulders right here, right? Very, very, very nasty inverted head and shoulders that I'm looking at here. That is about to break out. That is about to break out. So heads up to that. GJ, on the other hand, we have a possible long on the GJ. Remember that I was talking about that possibility of trading the GJ, on the continuation of this bullish structure, right? On the daily, we do have that bullish structure continuation. Very beautiful hold here of the 154.40, and that ABC, right? That ABC on the 4-hour chart. with that breakout yesterday, we broke out with that very same top of the range that I was talking about, and price is looking like it's stabilizing above these levels, right? This is last week's highs, and that's the top of the range that I wanted price to break out and stabilize in order for me to be looking for longs for the team, right? Why? Because well, actually, let's draw a correct freaking line. We are this is what I'm looking at, right? So let's not extend that, and I'm gonna clone this because this is the flag that I'm looking at, right? This is the bullish flag that I'm looking at on the 4-hour chart, and as you can see, we broke hours though. Well, it looks like a fake out, but right now my trade, I do have a GJ long, a small GJ long myself. This is my personal trades. A small GJ long from that I took at the very bottom of the second test. That was quite a speculative trade. That's why the position is small. But right now that we have broken with that the previous week's highs and that bullish flag, I'm sorry, we might find something for the team. So the hourly. On the hourly, you can see that price is really stabilizing above that top of that range, right? So we might get an opportunity to see some bullishness out of this breakout on the hourly, right? The only thing about this is that we do have this very big level of resistance, the 156 at the top of the range, and we are riding a GU and US dollar Japanese yen, so it would be redundant to trade the GJ. But here are my thoughts on the GJs. If you are not riding it, any of those, you might want to take a look at that. Because it is looking very good. Now gold. I know everybody wants to talk about gold because of yesterday's big rally. So why don't we? Gold is looking very bullish to me, mates. I'm not gonna lie to you. Gold is looking extremely bullish to me. At the moment, extremely bullish. Let me rephrase this. Gold is looking like it wants to continue to the upside. Now, let me rephrase that because that's some lingo that no one wants to hear on this channel. Gold is looking like it's on a pullback, not an impulsive move, right? That's much better, right? We are in a massive bullish structure. And let's have a look at the pullbacks that we've had on the past, because this is important, right? It's important to understand the small pullbacks in this market. That's a 2% pullback. That is a 2.29% 2.33% pullback. That is a 2% pullback. So this should be, I don't know, 3%, 3.5. So. That's a 3.78% pullback from high to low. So nothing out of the ordinary, right? Yeah, it's a 1.7% bigger than the previous pullbacks, but we are still in a pullback range, right? And not only are we still on a pullback range, but we are pulling back to previous key levels. This is important too, right? This is important too. Just have a look at what has happened on the previous pullbacks, right? Let's have a look at the first pullback. This is the W base, so I'm not gonna take that in consideration. But after that breakout, we pulled back to a key level. Then we broke and pulled back to a key level. Then we broke and pull back to a key level. So we are still in a pullback phase, in my opinion. Looking for longs. There is no setup right now, but heads up, because we are going to the 4-hour chart to have a look at this amazing opportunity. So we just have a look at the structure of this market, right? Starting from the lows at the 1674 on the 4-hour chart, right? You can see on my oscillator that we have reached those very same lows that were reached on March 21st. So this makes for a massive, massive bullish divergence in gold, or at least on the shorter time frame, right? Or on the midterm, I'm sorry. So we are still in a very structured bull run, in the sense that we are still breaking and retesting key levels. But on the 4-hour chart, what needs to happen is this, right? On the 4-hour chart, this is last week's lows that is capping the upside of this bullish run from yesterday. Now, anything below the 1841 to 1840 level completely and utterly invalidates my trade idea, right? Anything below that invalidates my trade idea. But you know, above that, above last week's lows, which are about the 1869. About that, we could see an ignition of a bull run to retest at least the previous week's or last week's highs, right? Now, if we draw some lines, why don't we draw some lines? I love drawing lines on my charts, right here, right? So, does this look like a flag? I don't know. Let's have a look. Well, yeah, this looks like a fucking bull flag, right? It looks like a bull flag, smells like a bull flag, could in fact be a very good bull flag. So if this is a bull flag, in fact, we could see, let's calculate those targets to the upside on this bull flag. We could see the 16, very easily the 16, the 1960 level, being reached in the, at least the short to mid-term, which would mean on the daily that we could in fact be reaching those next key levels that I do have right here around the 1953 on a breakout of the 1910. So that's what I'm looking for, right? Early a breakout of that 1910. Now on the hourly, as I said, last week's lows are capping the upside of this move. So there's no setup right now to go long. What I would want to see is a break of this previous base and the weekly pivot. Maybe price stabilizing here between the weekly pivot and yesterday's highs, something like that, before really looking for longs, right? So that's gold. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, because yesterday on the live show we did talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still very bullish to me on the 4-hour chart. Yesterday we were talking about this zone that might have a very big sell pressure, but I'm still looking for that move towards the 49,000 level. And if this level breaks, it's really going to ignite that move to the upside. Now, this is still a range, even if price broke with this kind of a midterm structure. This is still a range, very much looking cappy here, but we are going to keep on holding that those Bitcoin longs. Holding those Bitcoin longs towards those targets, toward those first targets, right? Let's have a look at some other cryptos. Now, Ripple, on the other hand, I do like Ripple to the upside, or I'm sorry, I like the upside of Ripple with price, the downside being capped by the 79.60, 79.70, 79.80 level, let's call it. And this formation at the bottom of this move, right? So we broke out of the formation, but this breakout lacked momentum to the upside. And I really don't like that. When breakouts lack momentum, it ends up being a fake out. And as you can see, this 4-hour candle around the weekly pivot it's looking very, very bearish. So heads up to that. There's no momentum in this market, even though there has been some good news around the Ripple case with the SEC and the FBI. I don't remember who was it. Now Ethereum again, very much non-directional to me on the 4-hour chart. Let's have a look at some US dollar CAD, right? The US dollar CAD, on the other hand, looking very good to the upside. And in fact, this is a nice price action on the 4-hour chart. I mean, the break retest of the previous highs. And now looking at the pullback structure, here about to break for further continuation. This is a nice trade setup on the US dollar CAD. And let's finish up by looking at the DXY, the US dollar currency index. Now the US dollar currency index is looking very bearish again from those highs that we talked about yesterday. Those highs printed on June 4th at the beginning of the month. This is a 1-hour chart. Let's have a look at the 4-hour chart instead. Yeah, so this is the level that is capping the upside on the DXY. We are now trading around the weekly pivot with more and more bearish price action. Now this is going to be the level, the 90-22, 90-20 level. This is going to be the level that we're going to see some buying pressure. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, right? No one knows. But if in fact this level holds, we could see a rally towards that 90.57 level again. So there you go. Trade safe, and I'll see you on the inside.